month, February, we're talking about business development. There's a prerequisites class. Let me shift to this for my so you can see my face. So there's a prerequisite. Say my face. Okay. There's no way to zoom in. Anyway, so business development within the agricultural value chain is what we're going to be covering. There's a huge need in that space because people don't understand what it takes to go from the farm to the shelf, right? How do you take products from the farm to the shelf? How do you build that out? How do you invest and all of those things? So next month I'll cover that. I worked for the world's largest retailer. When you think about it, I used to manage global sourcing and all of this apparel merchandising. So, in fact, also my background in terms of supply chain, logistics, warehousing, like the complexity behind technology innovation and all those things. That's where I lived before I showed my face. And then the last 3 years, people have only seen one side of towing, Nazaru, trade with Africa, which is fantastic. We've grown that this year. And we are going to see Toy more in the technical aspect because when we talk about trade, it may sound glossy. Trade and investment may sound glossy, but behind it is actual work, right? Getting my product on Amazon is grinding. Like getting trademarks approved is day to day grind. So I think I only show the results that I'm producing. In the past, I would just show you the result. Like, hey, Toyin launched lipstick, like I'm wearing, and everybody would be like, yes. Did you know what it took? No. If somebody else wants to do that, do you know what it takes? No. That's what I'm saying. That I'm realizing that people are seeing the glamorous side of trade and investment, and that's fine. You'd see me on Tuesday show up in that space. But if you want to grow numbers, if you want to grow transactions, then you need to know shipping, logistics, warehousing, pricing strategy. Like these are these are things that runs the global market. Like it's not just feeling good and shaking hands in a conference. No. And that's what I'm seeing that people are struggling with, that they don't have the experience and the technical competency. And I want to see how I can share that more. So you're going to see me in that serious light, especially those in my community. We're going to roll up our sleeves and do the dirty work. That's what it takes, really. But then when I show up outside, I'm like, oh, how are you? Anyway. But anyway, so that's why that side of the work is not for everybody. There's a level of seriousness, there's a level of commitment, there's a level of dedication that is absolutely, absolutely, absolutely required to be successful in this space. There's a level of commitment. And for me, um, I'm not working below. I have an expectation, and I'm only going to commit to those people that are committed to this, and those are the people that subscribe. So it's now going to be it's subscription based, because I just want to focus on bringing value, right? Because every time I say, okay, this class register, and then I come, oh, another class register, but instead of just going through that marketing, it's a marketing hassle. And I know we have to do that every time. So I've simplified that process to say, hey, if you want to go on this journey of growth, of technical acquiring skills to be able to win and to be able to compete globally, then subscribe. And every single month, you're guaranteed knowledge, experience, you're growing your network, you're accessing resources. And then third, did I share that? Okay, let me talk about that as well. Um, Fourth Friday, then we're doing business coaching, which is a group coaching for the people on the community. Why this is also very, very important is because even when you have knowledge and information, oftentimes you may not know how to apply it. Like you might want to ship something. Like, who do I work with? Who ships from Nigeria to US, Nigeria, Ghana? Like the execution side of or application of that knowledge, you may encounter challenges. So I've created a space for the business coaching where community members, it's like almost like office hours for me. It's like that 1 hour period, five to two, five, six people come in and say, "Hey, Tony, I tried this, right? What do you need?" Or and explain what they're trying to do, and then I'm able to share my experience or guide them or make some introductions for them. So I'm holding that space now outside of the group coaching. Um, Outside of the group coaching, I also do one-on-one coaching. I've also started doing. I've tested it out, and I've seen the transformation in people. Again, before now, you couldn't. I couldn't do it because my calendar would not allow. I was unable to make any commitment for you or a group or individual. I wasn't able to. But now that the work that I'm doing, the brands, everything, I feel like we've established the work, the Trade with Africa Summit. We're now in our fourth year, you know. So we've grown. And now how do we take more people on that journey? How do we coach people through that? Because at the end of the day, the mission we have, or the mission I had when I launched Nazaru, was to grow trade with Africa, to grow the transactions, to grow the numbers. US only does about 2% of its total global trade with sub-Saharan African countries. And Africa represents a quarter of the number of countries in the world. So the numbers are low. And when you look at it, the opportunities abound, but I'm finding that people don't have the right skill sets, enough of the skill set needed to engage. And that's what we're committing to. Should I share this? There's also maybe not. Okay, maybe not. I won't share. What I wanted to share before was a slide from the class tomorrow, where remember what I said about my background in terms of taking something complex and crystallizing it. Most of my classes, if you've taken any of my master classes, which I also deliver to government officials, like back in October in partnership with African Union, actually trained representatives from 14 African countries. So if you sat in any of my classes or any of my global engagement, you realize that I usually start with one slide that has a whole lot of things going on that slide. Part of it is